Okay, good morning. So, welcome sa business management and organization. Okay? So, our subject is business management and organization. So, ang pag-uusapan natin dito is about sa management and sa organization. But before that, before we discuss about our subject, before we start discussing about our subject, let me just remind you about your requirements last semester. Okay? Mag-submit na kayo ng mga requirements ninyo. So, you are a third year student na kayo. So, meaning, may backlog kayo sa nung last sem. So, kapag hindi pa kayo tapos ng last semester, ayan, mag-submit na kayo ng requirements ninyo para makaabante naman kayo kasi magsisimula na naman tayo sa school year 2021 and 2022. So, para hindi naman kayo mahirapan, mag-submit na kayo ng mga requirements ninyo last sem. And mag-take na kayo ng exams ninyo. Okay? For school year 2020-2021, which is first semester, ayan, 2020-01, first semester yun, mag-end siya ng December. So, pwede lang kayo mag-comply until December 31. So, kapag natapos nyo na yung mga requirements, mag-exam na kayo para hindi nyo i-re-enroll yung mga subjects. Okay? And of course, ayan, simulan na natin sa business management and organization. We will, yung pag-compute ng grade natin is week 1 to 5. And kailangan tapusin nyo yung requirements nyo from week 1 to 5, week 7 to 11, and week 13 to 17. So, yung week 6, week 12, week 17, week 18, yun yung prelim, midterm, and final exams ninyo. So, before kayo makapag-exam ng week 6, ayan, comply nyo muna yung week 1 to 5. Okay? And week 7 to 11, kailangan tapusin nyo yung mga requirements niyo, and week 13 to 17 before kayo makapag-exam. And ang distributions ng modules natin is bi-weekly. So, kailangan mag-submit kayo. May deadline yung requirements natin ngayong sem na to. Okay? Ngayong first sem, sisimulan natin magkaroon ng deadline. Okay? So, yun lang yung mga kailangang ipaalala sa inyo. Okay? So, that is our reminders sa mga students natin, sa mga old students natin. Okay? So, ayan. So, welcome sa business management and organization. Okay? So, sabi ko nga kanina, ang papag-aralan natin dito is all about the management. Ayan, management of a certain organization, of a certain business or organization. Now, let's go to our lesson 1. Okay? Okay, lesson 1, introduction to management. Okay? So, at the end of the lesson, learners, you should be able to, define management, understand the elements and functions of management, and of course, lastly, understand the connection of arts and science to management. So, yan yung mga yan yung mga objectives natin for this lesson 1, introduction to management. Okay? Okay, what is the definition of management? Yan, sabi dyan, is the act of getting people together to accomplish desired goals and objectives using available resources efficiently and effectively. Okay? So, sabi niya dito, ang management daw, ayan, getting people together para maka-accomplish ang isang task or goals or objectives ng isang organization. So, that is a management. Ayan, from the word management. Manage, you need to manage people. Ayan. So, sino yung tao dyan? It is a manager. Ayan. Okay? Siya yung nag-guide sa mga tao para sa kanyang mga tao or personnels para ma-accomplish yung objectives ng isang company gamit yung mga available resources. Kailangan nilang gawin is, ayan, they should be efficient and effective. Ayan, sa paggamit ng mga resources para ang pinaka-goal naman dyan is to accomplish the objectives of a certain organization. Okay? Ayan, since organization can be viewed as a system, management can also defined as a human action. Ayan, human action to facilitate the production of useful outcomes. Ayan, yung mga dapat yung outcome mo kailangan naka-align doon sa objectives mo, 'di ba? Yung goals mo, 'di ba? So this view opens the opportunity to manage oneself, okay? A prerequisite to attempting to manage others, okay? So nasa modules niyo 'yan. If you have your modules, ayan, ilabas niyo and please go along with me with the discussion, okay? So, that is the meaning, the simple meaning of management. So, it is getting people together to accomplish desired goals. Okay? So, trabaho yan. Sinong taong involved dyan? It is the manager. Ayan. Naka-encounter na siguro kayo ng isang manager, di ba? Imposible namang hindi. Sa tanan ng buhay ninyo, di ba? Kapag pupunta pa lang kayo sa Jollibee, ayan, nakikita nyo naman yung mga manager, manager, ayan, sinusupervise nila yung mga tao nila para gawin yung task nila, okay? So, what are the management functions and process? So, ano ba yung mga functions and process of management? Okay? So, we have, ayan, okay, ito yung mga management functions natin. We have planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So, isa-isahin natin yan. Isa-isahin natin na i-discuss yung mga main elements or functions of management. So, let's start with the planning. So, ano ba yung ginagawa sa planning? Di ba pagpaplano, ano ba yung ginagawa pag nagpaplano kayo with your barkada, pag-outing, ayan. Syempre, hindi na yun pwede ngayon, di ba? Imposible nang mangyari kasi syempre because of this pandemic na nangyayari sa atin, na nai-experience natin, nanilimitahan na lang yung paglabas, pamamasyal natin, di ba? So, yung pagpaplano gaya ng hindi pa natin na-experience yung ganitong pandemic, di ba? Yung mga barkada natin, magplano naman tayo. Punta tayo sa ganito, kita-kita naman tayo doon, mamasyal tayo, di ba? So, in reality, nagplano nga sila, pero hindi natuloy, di ba? So, mas, yung plano na yun, hindi na isagawa, 'di ba? Yun ganoon naman usually yung mga magbabarkada eh. Pag malapit na yung date na kung saan sila pupunta, kung saan sila yung date na yon malapit na, 'di ba? May mga nagba-back out na, ay hindi pala ako makakapunta kasi ganito. Diba? Nasaan na yung plano? Diba? It is very important na kailangang magplano tayo para syempre, para maisagawa yung isang task or yung isang event, diba? Para maging maayos. So, yun naman yung silbi ng pagpaplano natin. Okay? So, what is planning? Ayan, planning is a future-oriented. Ayan, future-oriented yan. Bakit future-oriented? Kasi, ipaplano mo pa lang. So, mangyayari yan in the future. Okay? And it determines an organization's direction. Okay? So, yung plano mo, ano ba yung plano natin? Magpapatayo tayo ng business. Pag pinatayo natin yung business na to, so kailangan ganito yung goals natin, yung mission natin, makaprovide ng magandang serbisyo sa ating mga customer. Ayan. So yun yung direction ng isang organization, 'di ba? Kasi may plano na sila, 'di ba? So it is a rational and systematic way of making decisions. Ayan. Syempre kapag may plano ka, nakaakibat na 'yan yung paggawa ng magandang desisyon para sa isang company, okay? Ayan, it is a kind of organized foresight as well as the collective hindsight. Okay, it involves predicting of the future. Ano ba yung mangyayari kapag after 1 year of operating yung sa business mo? Ano ba yung mangyayari, di ba? So, yun, kailangan nating planuhin. So, after 5 years, nakatayo pa rin ba yung business? After 10 years, nakatayo pa rin ba yung business mo? So, yun yung mga kailangan nating planuhin bago isagawa yung mga bagay-bagay. So, especially if that is a business organization, ayan, business yan, kailangan ng masinsinang pagpaplano. Okay? So, yan yung silbi ng management. Okay? So, paano mo minamanage? So, it involves planning. Okay? So, it involves the ability to foresee the effects of current actions. Ayan. In the long run or in the future. Ayan. In the long run, within 5 years, 10 years. Okay? So, yun yung plano. So, kapag nagplano ka, meron na dun yung goals and objectives mo. Goals, missions or visions ng a company. Okay? So, next, let's go to organizing. So, ano naman kapag organizing? Okay? The next step in the management functions and process is organizing. So, organizing requires a formal structure of authority and the direction of law. Ayan, and flow of such authority through which the works divisions are defined, ayan, arranged and coordinated so that each part relates to the other part in a united and coherent manner as to attain the prescribed objectives. So, ang organizing, ano ba yung kailangan mong organize? Ayan. It's a formal structure of authority. So, ito yung tinatawag nating organizational chart. Ayan. Organizational chart or organizational structure. So, meaning, nandyan yung kung saan ka magre-report, kumbaga yung empleyado ka, Ayan, sino yung boss mo? Anong department ka kabilang? So, it is important na magkaroon ng organizational chart so that the employee knows immediately whom to report, 'di ba? Sino bang tao ka magre-report muna, 'di ba? So may tinatawag tayong sa isang big company, CEO. Ayan, mga BODs natin. Or board of director, CEO, vice president, BODs, ayan, yung mga iba't ibang departments na sa baba, ayan yung mga empleyados nila, yung mga empleyado nila per department, ayan, so dun yung silbi ng organized na, or organized structure para kung alam mo kung saan ka magre-report. Okay? Ayan, the functions of organizing is concerned with, ayan, identifying the tasks and must be performed and grouping them whenever necessary. So, yan, dyan naman nakalagay sa organizational structure natin. Carmina Dongkayan, instructor, ayan. Saan nandyan yung task mo. So, yan, naka-identify, naka-indicate, administrative aid 1, clerk, cashier, ayan. Okay? Assigning this task to the personnel while defining their authority and responsibility. So, naka-define din yan yung ano ba yung authority nila. Or responsibility nila, okay? Delegating this authority to these employees. Ayan, establishing a relationship between authority and responsibility. So, are you authorized to do that? Are you authorized to sign those documents? Diba? So, responsibilidad mo ba yan? So, ang organizing, dapat organize yan. Dapat may mga kanya-kanyang ano yan. For example, sabi ko nga, may kanya-kanyang departments, ayan, diba? Para alam natin kung saan tayo magre-report, saan tayo kabilang sa organization na yun. Okay? Especially kapag malaking company yan. Okay? Coordinating these activities, ayan, para maayos na i-coordinate yung mga activities ng isang organization. Okay? So, that is organizing. Ayan, nagplano ka, in-organize mo, staffing. So, when we say staffing, ayan, the function of hiring and retaining a suitable work force for the enterprise, both at managerial as well as non-managerial levels. Okay, so staffing, ayan, ikaw na yung nag-hire ng mga empleyado. It involves the process of recruiting, ayan, magre-recruit ka, magpapatrain ka, ide-develop mo yung isang empleyado, and of course i-identify mo kung magkano ba yung sweldo niya, and evaluate mo din yung empleyado, yung performance niya, di ba, na-hire mo na, o nagtrabaho na siya, nakita mo na kung paano siya magtrabaho. Ngayon, i-evaluate mo siya, and of course, maintain this workforce with the proper, kapag mo, syempre, ay, ang galing naman ng empleyadong to, ang ano naman, lahat ng trabaho, kinakaya niya, ayan, syempre magbigay ka ng incentives and motivations, i-motivate mo pa siya lalo, di ba? Especially yung mga, syempre kapag ikaw naman yung manager, nakikita mo naman yung mga empleyado mo, sinusupervise mo sila, nakikita mo sila, kailangan kilalanin mo, 'di ba? Kapag yung isang empleyado is parang hindi mapakali, ayan, parang hindi siya nakaka-concentrate sa trabaho niya, ayan, talk to him in a private, ayan, parang ganito yung performance natin, na bakit, ano ba yung nangyari, ano ba yung problema natin, ayan, yung pwede mo siyang i-motivate, ayan, that's part of staffing, okay? So, since the human element is the most vital factor, ayan ang pinaka-importante na resources sa isang organization or sa isang business is the human resources. So, kung walang tao dyan, walang human intervention with the business, so hindi yan gagalaw. Okay? So, ang pinaka-importante, ayan, take note of that, ang pinaka-importante na resources, it is the human resources. Yung mga tao sa isang organization. So, kailangan yung company bigyan ng importansya, okay? Bigyan naman ng importansya yung mga empleyado nila, okay? So, priority yung mga empleyado. Kung wala yung mga empleyado, walang gagalaw sa business. Hindi yan mag-ooperate, diba? Okay? So, it is important. So, dyan sa staffing, kailangan din naman ng makapag-recruit ka ng right person at the right position. Okay? So, kailangan makuha mo yung kailangan din namang makuha mo yung tamang tao dyan sa posisyon na yan. So, wag manguliti ka. Diba? So, pero nakakalungkot lang na nakabase tayo sa hindi naman sa natin, pero yun naman yung realidad, 'di ba? Nakabase lang tayo sa kung sino yung kakilala natin, ayan. Especially i-mention na natin sa gobyerno, 'di ba? So, hindi na natin maiiwasan 'yan. It is being politicized. Ayan, kapag nag-a-apply ka, ayan, sino ba yung kilala mo dito? Kilala mo ba yung mayor natin? Ayan. So, that's just a purpose of discussion, okay? About the staffing, kasi it involves naman recruitment. So, paano sila nagre-recruit, 'di ba? So, nag-undergo naman sila ng process, pero meron na talagang na-hire. Lang sila sa process, pero meron ng tao doon, 'di ba? Ikaw naman tong nang-apply, umasa ka, 'di ba? So, that is a staffing, okay? Now, let's go to directing. So, kapag nakapag-hire ka na, ayan, da-direct mo na siya. So, paano mo ba siya susubaybayan? Paano mo ba siya i-direct sa mga trabaho? Okay? The directing function is considered with leadership. So, you are to lead your personnel, okay? It's concerned with leadership, communication, ayan, motivation, and supervision, so that the employees perform their activities in the most efficient manner possible. Ayan. So, in order to achieve the desired goal, so it is very important na napaka-importante yung leadership mo as a manager. Ayan, leader ka na, manager ka pa. So what is the difference between the leader and the manager? Ayan, ma-discuss natin yan as we go along with our topics, okay? With our lessons, okay? So, leadership elements involves, ayan, issuing, mag-i-instruct mo siya, i-guide mo siya, i-guide mo yung bagong empleyado, ayan, paano ba yung mga procedures, paano ba yung flow of the business, paano ba yung process nito, ano ba yung tatrabahuin niya, 'di ba? Mag-entertain ba siya ng client, 'di ba? Lalong-lalo na kapag siya yung unang-unang table, doon na pagpasok nila, siya yung unang-unang table na makikita nila. So, siya yung taga-receive ng mga customers or clients. So, ano ba yung dapat niyang gawin? So, you need to instruct him, guide him, diba? Para magawa niya yung task niya. So, that is directing. It involves instructing, you need to instruct him, you need to guide, ayan, para naman para malaman niya yung procedures, okay? The communication must be open both ways so that the information can be passed, ayan, on the subordinates and feedback received from them. So, yung communication, na napaka-importante din yung communication sa isang organization. Kasi syempre, kapag na-miscommunicate nila yung kailangan mo yung message na misunderstand nila yung message, ayan, magkakaroon ng conflict or magkakaroon ng problema sa isang business. So, it is very important yung communication with your subordinates and kailangan may feedback sila, okay? So, sa directing din, nandyan din yung motivation. I-motivate mo siya, diba? So, hindi lang sa staffing, and also, directing, kailangan i-motivate mo din yung empleyado. Ayan, motivation is very important. Since highly motivated people, kapag na-motivate sila, yung performance nila nagiging excellent, diba? With less direction from superiors, diba? So, kaya mo na yan, diba? Yung minsan, yung mga managers natin, sinasabi nila, kaya mo na yan. Yeah, alam ko naman yung capabilities mo, diba? I mean, alam ko naman yung abilities mo. So, you need not to be supervised, okay? Because you know what you are doing, 'di ba? Alam mo na yung ginagawa mo, 'di ba? Kasi na-motivate sila and therefore nagkakaroon ng excellent performance and therefore nagkakaroon ng less supervisions, okay? That is the value of motivation. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Kailangang i-motivate natin then yung mga empleyado natin, okay? Ayan, supervising subordinates would lead to continuous progress reports as well as assure the superiors that the directions are being properly carried out, okay? So that is directing. So you need to instruct, guide, motivate, supervise, okay? Now, let's go to the last management function, which is the controlling. So, paano naman tong controlling na to? Okay? So, what is a controlling? So, the function of control consists of those activities that are undertaken to ensure that the events do not deviate from the pre-arranged plans. Okay? Hindi siya alam mo yung hindi siya nagiging kailangang yung plano, yan, makontrol mo kung saan dapat siya yung result niya, 'di ba? Kailangan yung plano na isagawa nang naaayon sa plano, 'di ba? So the activities consist of establishing standards for work performance, measuring performance and comparing it to these set standards, and taking corrective actions as when needed. Ayan. To correct any deviation. So ano ba yung ano ba yung magiging problema. So dapat kapag yung may naisagawang plano, ayan, you need to control it. Ayan, establishments of standard performance. Mag-establish ka ng standard performance, yung measurement of actual performance. Ayan, measuring actual performance with predetermined standards. Ayan, taking corrective actions kung ano ba yung loopholes ng isang event na yon, 'di ba? Ng isang plano na yon, 'di ba? Syempre hindi naman yan agad-agad perfect eh, 'di ba? May mga pagkukulang, may mga loopholes tayo in order for us to improve. Next, i-identify mo saan ba ako nagkamali dito. Saan ba yung what specific dun sa plano, ano ba yung kamali, saan ba yung kamali, 'di ba? So dun pa lang nakikita na natin yung makakapagbigay na tayo ng corrective actions, okay? Or in the next plan, ayan, alam na natin kung ano ba, ay siguradong magiging problema na naman to. Ayan, magkailangan tayong magplano ng iba, 'di ba? So that is a controlling. So that is the 5 management functions and processes, okay? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Or yung tinatawag nating kapag gusto nyong i-memorize, post-decon. Okay? Planning for P, O for organizing, S for staffing, D for directing, and con for controlling. So, post-decon ang tawag na yung mnemonics niyan. Okay? So, that is the management functions. I hope that naintindihan. Okay, let's go to next. Ayan, types of management styles. Ano ba yung mga types of management styles natin? So, there are different types of management styles. And the management process has changed over recent years. So, the addition of work teams and servant leadership has changed what is expected from managers. So, from what managers expect from their employees. Okay? So, let's start with the traditional management. So, when we say traditional management, ayan, there is a hierarchy of employees daw. Ayan, low-level management, mid-level management, and of course, the senior management. So, kapag traditional, the managers set out expectations for the employees that kailangan nilang i-meet yung goals na yon. So, manager receives the reward of meeting those goals. So, kapag yung traditional management natin, ayan, si manager nag-set ng goals na imi-meet ng mga empleyado. Pero, yung reward na yon of meeting that goals is napupunta sa manager. Okay, so it is very unfair naman tong traditional management, di ba? Let's take a look with this example, okay? Make money for the shareholders. Ayan. Managers are controllers of individuals. So, yun yung traditional, di ba? Bureaucracy, rules, plans, and reports. Efficiency, cost cutting, top-down commands. Ayan. So, pag top-down, ayan yung mga sa senior management, manggagaling yung mga commands, okay, na kailangang i-accomplish ng mga empleyado. That sa traditional management nga, na-accomplish ng isang empleyado na meet niya yung goals, pero yung reward of meeting that goals is for the manager, so hindi sa mga empleyado. So, ang pangit naman ng traditional management, okay? So, let's go to team management. So, ano ba yung mga sinasabi din dito sa team management. So, in a team management, the arrangement, the manager is a guiding hand to help the members of the team work together to solve problems, but doesn't dictate policy. Ayan, and the entire team receives rewards of meeting those goals. So, ang difference dun sa team management sa traditional, ayan, sa team management, it does not dictate any policy, and yung entire team yung makakapag-receive ng reward. So, unlike dito sa traditional, that only the manager who will receive the rewards, but for the team management, lahat sila makaka-receive ng rewards for that na na-accomplish nila na goals, 'di ba? So, maganda yung team management. So, now let's go to servant management. So, ano naman ang servant management? So, with this approach, ayan, the manager helps supply resources the employees need to meet the company goals. So, in a servant leadership, the organization recognizes employees as experts in their field and work to help them work efficiently. So, kapag servant managers, ayan, yung mga leaders natin sa isa kampante na yung isang organization na ma-accomplish nila ma-accomplish ng isang empleyado yung goals nila, yung objectives ng isang company, 'di ba? So nire-recognize nila yung empleyado nila as experts in that field na magkakaroon siya ng magandang resulta. Okay, so that is the servant managers. Ayan, the managers help supply resources the employees need. Ayan, yung mga manager na binibigyan nila ng mga resources, yung mga kailangan ng isang empleyado para ma-meet nila yung company goals. Okay? So, I hope na nakuha yung mga differences of the three management style, which are the traditional management, team management, and the servant management. So, those are the management style. Okay? Now, let's go to the 9 important characteristics of management. So, ano ba yung mga 9 important characteristics na yan? So, number 1 is management is a goal-oriented process. So, when we say goal-oriented, sabi nga natin, in order to have a guide, ayan, kailangang may goal ka, di ba? Yun yung basehan mo para makapagplano kung ano ba dapat yung gagawin ng isang empleyado. Tama? Okay, management always aims, ayan, at achieving the organizational objectives. Okay? The functions and activities of manager lead to the achievement of organizational objectives. Ayan. Siyempre, naka-align yung goal mo kapag nagpaplano ka, di ba? So, yung management management always aims at achieving the organizational objectives. Alangan naman, 'di ba? 'Yun naman yung pinaka-aim natin. Ano ba yung objectives mo? Ano ba yung goals ng isang isang business, 'di ba? So kailangan nating i-attain 'yon. So management is a goal-oriented process. Okay? So yung mga activities doon, the manager lead of the achievement of organizational objectives. So, kailangan pag in pa lang ng isang empleyado na explain mo na sa kanya ang goal natin dito is ganito, ang goal ng company na to, ang goal ng business na to, ang objectives niya within the period is ganito. So, kailangan clear sa empleyado para maisagawa, okay? Para makapagbigay siya para makapagbigay ng syempre para magawa yung isang goals, okay? Management is a pervasive. Ayan. Management is a universal phenomenon. Ayan. The use of management is not restricted to business firms. Only it is applicable in profit making, non-profit making, business or non-business organizations. Ayan, even hospital, school, club, and house has to be managed properly. Ayan, so management is a pervasive. Ayan, universal yan. Kailangan, kahit nga small business, di ba? Kahit nga sari-sari store, kailangan may management ka pa rin dyan. Yes, kailangan tama yung pagmamanage mo ng business mo, di ba? Kahit nga ukay-ukay, di ba? Kailangan din ng tamang pagmamanage. So, management is a universal phenomenon, di ba? Even schools, hospitals, club and house has to be managed. So, kahit nga sa bahay natin, di ba? Kailangan din ng nasa nanay, tatay, kung paano nila i-manage yung mga anak nila, di ba? Okay? So, management is a pervasive. Okay? Management is a multi-dimensional. So, when we say management is a multi-dimensional, okay, management does not mean one single activity, but includes 3 main activities. Ano ba yung mga 3 main activities natin? Management of work, management of people, management of operations. Ayan. Kapag nakita, mayroon kayong nandyan sa module ninyo. Okay? So, when we say management of work, ayan, yung mga all organizations are set up to perform the task, okay? So, para maano natin, i-manage mo yung, paano mo ma-manage yung trabaho mo. Diba? Siyempre, kailangan naka-organize yan. Sabi mga natin, management activities aim at achieving goals or tasks to be accomplished, okay? Management makes sure that work, ayan, ma-accomplish mo yan efficiently and effectively. So, that is important of management. So, management of people, paano mo ba siya i-manage? So, naka-refer yan sa human resources natin. Or human resources management natin, okay? Management has to get a task accomplished through people only. Okay? Managing has 2 dimensions. Taking care of employees, individual needs. Ayan. Taking care of group of people. Ayan. So, yun yung management of people. Under management is multidimensional. And of course, management of operations. Ayan. You need also to manage the operations of the business. So, ano ba yung nangyayari? So, ano ba, paano ba yung operations ng business? Diba? I-manage mo siya para yung workflow or yung flow ng isang organization is may sagawa ng maayos. Okay? Next is management is a continuous process. Ayan. Continuous process naman talaga in order for us to magkaroon ng total quality management. Diba? So, management is a continuous or never-ending function. Okay? All the functions of management are performed continuously. Okay? For example, yung planning, organizing natin, di ba? Kaya nga yung picture kanina is round, di ba? From planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and magpaplano ka na naman agad, kapag yun, Diba? It's a circle. It's a continuous process. Okay? Management is a group activity. Ayan. No man is an island. Hindi mo naman magagawa yung task na ikaw lang. Diba? Not unless talagang you have no choice. Talagang mag-isa ka sa task na yun. Diba? So, pero management is a group activity. Management always refers to a group of people involved in managerial activities. Okay? So, the management functions cannot be performed in isolation. So, hindi siya magpo-perform isolate. So, sabi ko nga, no man is an island. Diba? Kailangan mo ng kasama. Okay? Each individual performs his or her role at his or her status and department, then only management function can be executed. Okay? So, management is a group activity. Okay? So, management, now let's go to the next. Management is a dynamic process or dynamic function. So, when we say management is a dynamic function, ayan, management has to make changes in goal. Ayan, dynamic kasi, dynamic function. Changes in goal, objectives, and other activities according to changes taking place in the environment. So, you need to adapt kung ano ang nangyayari sa environment. Let's say, for example, ayan, dati pumapasok yung mga estudyante. Diba? Para mag-aral, may face-to-face classes tayo. Anong nangyari sa environment natin? Nagkaroon ng virus, which is the COVID-19, nagkaroon ng lockdown, pandemic. So, paano na yung mode of learning natin, diba? So, paano na? Mag-i-stop na lang yung mga estudyante, i-stop na natin yung operation ng school. So, you need to adapt kung ano yung nangyayari sa environment mo, diba? Nagkaroon na ng online classes, ayan. Diyan na pumapasok yung mga planning natin, paano ba yung mga gagawin natin strategy, diba? So, that is a dynamic function. So, pwede mong i-change yung goals or objectives ng isang company in order to take the changes in the environment, okay? So, the external environment, such as a social, economic, technical, and political environments has a great influence over the management. So, ano ba yung nangyayari natin? Ayan, economic, social, political, ayan, changes. So, sabi ko nga, you need to adapt kung ano yung nangyayari. So, huwag kang magpaiwan para hindi ka malugi. Okay? So, that is, management is a dynamic function. Okay? Intangible. So, when we say intangible, management, parang hindi na po yung isa. Okay? Intangible, management function cannot be physically seen, but its presence can be felt. Ayan, intangible siya. Yung characteristic niya, hindi mo siya makahawakan. Pero mafe-feel mo yung way pa lang ng for example, I am the customer. Ayan, pagpasok ko pa lang sa isang company, welcome ma'am, good morning. Ayan, tamang pagmamanage yan ng personnel in which hindi mo siya makikita pero nafe-feel mo. So it is intangible, okay? So, the presence of management can be felt by seeing the orderliness and coordination in the working environment. Gaya nga yung sample ko kanina, diba? So, may coordination, orderliness, ayan, magandang ambience sa company. Ayan, that is intangible. Okay? It is easier to feel, ayan, feel the presence of mismanagement and as leads to chaos and confusion in the organization. So, yun yung or intangible. Okay? Composite process. Number 8 is we have the composite process. Management consists of a series of functions which must be performed in a proper sequence. Ayan, these functions are not independent of each other. So, ayan, may proper sequence siya. Kaya nga may organizing tayo, di ba? Or may directing, di ba? So, that is a composite process. And lastly, balancing effectiveness and efficiency. So, you need to balance the effectiveness and efficiency. Diba? Effectiveness means achieving targets and objectives on time. Ayan, na-achieve mo siya on time. Because, for example, yung deadline niya is yung kailangang ma-accomplish mo to August 13, ayan, na-accomplish mo naman siya August 13. So, on time yun. So, that is effectiveness. So, when we say efficient, refers to optimum or best utilization of resources. Management always try to balance both to the work done successfully. So, kapag efficiency, na-accomplish mo siya ahead of time, yung deadline deadline before August 13. Let's say, for example, ganun nga, di ba? Okay, that is a balancing effectiveness and efficient. Okay, that is the 9 most important characteristics or features of management. Okay. Now, let's go to the distinction between management and organization. So, ano ba yung pagkakaiba nila? Okay, organization and management. So, let's start with number 1. Organization is the structured by which a harmonious interrelation is established between the workers and their work. Ayan, harmonious interrelationship. Para establish between the workers and their work. Ayan. Dito, management is the executive process of getting works accomplished by the subordinates employees. So, kapag sa organization may harmonious interrelationship sila sa management, getting people works done, getting people work together to accomplish what is the goals and objectives, di ba? So, through organization, authority and responsibility are delegated. These are organizational activities. Yan. The functions of management are administrative activities. Okay, organization is one of the various functions of management. Ayan, as part of the management, organization helps it to execute its other functions. So, kapag management naman yan, management is the sum total of several activities. Okay? Organization acts as a tool in the hands of managers. So, with the help of the organization, yung managers perform their duties and responsibilities. Okay? Organizations aims at performing the planned activities through creating proper work environment. So, yung objectives naman ng management is to supervise lang para ma-accomplish yung work. And to give necessary direction para makuha yung desired result. Okay? The setting up of effective organization structure depends on efficient management. Sa efficient management. So, kapag efficient management largely depends on a strong organization. Diba? Organization may be regarded as the hands of the human body. Management may be compared to the whole human body. Ayan. Whole human body yung management. Pero yung sa organization is the hands of the human body. Kasi sila yung working force di ba? It is the organization, yung management, the whole human body kasi siya lahat yung nag-iisip kung ano ba yung gagawin, di ba? So, that is the difference between the organization and the management. Okay? Now, let's go to the management as an art or science. So, bakit ba siya? Let's start with the management. Management is an art. Bakit? Management is considered as art as both requires skills, knowledge, experience, and creativity for achievement of desired goals. Ayan. Bakit ba siya an art? Because it is regarded as a systematic application of skill. Ayan. Knowledge in accomplishing a desired result. Okay? So, the main elements of art are discussed. Ayan. Nandyan sa module ninyo, okay? A personal skill. Ayan. Yung personal skill, a manager uses his knowledge and skills in coordinating activities of people in an organization. Practical management. Management is concerned with the application of knowledge. Ayan, practical. Kailangan, ano ba yung dapat nating gawin? You should be practical. Result-oriented approach. Ayan, regular practice. So, creativity. So, that is considered as an art. That management is an art because it uses skills and knowledge in order to accomplish a desired result. Okay? Now, let's go to management is a science. So, paano ba siya? So, management is considered as a science. Science tells about the cause and effects of applications and is based on some specific principles and procedures. Ayan. Management also uses some principles and specific methods. These are formed by continuous observation. So, management is a science kasi gumagamit siya ng methods or specific methods or principles. Ayan, papag-aralan natin yan. Bakit ba siya management is a science? As we go along with our discussion. So, the word science literally means knowledge. Ayan, it is a systemized body of knowledge acquired by mankind through yung na-observe natin. Diba? Through experimentation, which is capable of sense of verification. So yung basic difference between the art and science is kapag art, it implies knowing how the application. Pero kapag science, it is concerned with with knowing bakit siya, bakit bakit nangyayari to, di ba? So, science is a systematized body of knowledge which establishes relationship between, ayan, sabi ko nga kanina, cause and effect. So that is the management is a science. Okay? Now, let's go to the 12 essential elements of scientific management. Okay? Please refer to your module. Okay? Number 1, scientific task and rate setting. Okay? Through scientific investigation, ayan, through scientific experimentation, the task of every worker has to be determined considering an ideal environment prevailing in the firm. Ayan. A proper day's work, in the words of, ayan, yung Taylorism natin. Mapag-aralan naman natin yan sa mga susunod na lessons natin. So, scientific task and rate settings. Yung time study. Ayan, time study. Systematic duty of time required to do a particular job. Diba? So, ilan ba yung ilang oras mo ba dapat gawin ito, ilang oras ba yung bubunuin mo para ma-accomplish mo yung task na to, di ba? So that is a time study. Motion study, so paano ba yung movement of an operator for eliminating useless motion. So this study carried out and scientifically ensures most effective and most economical method of doing a job. Okay? Method study. So, paano ba yung it determines the standard task? Ayan. What is the first step in the preparation of that process? Okay? Fatigue study. So, if worker gets tired naman, kasi syempre, napapagod naman tayo, di ba? Pagod naman. Pretty sure, alam ko namang halos lahat siguro ng teachers, pagod niya yung pandemic, di ba? So, sa mood of learning kasi natin, di ba? Online classes, gagawa ng module, di ba? So, mag-print ng module, di ba? Fatigue, dito sa management natin, scientific management natin, yan nag-aaralan din yan, yung fatigue study, yung overwork, okay, yung pagod na empleyado, di ba? Okay? Task planning. Ayan, syempre, kailangan mong magplano kung ano yung gagawin mo. Okay? Number 8 is selection and training. So, it cannot be overemphasized that proper selection of personnel and their proper training are essential to ensure a better performance of the firm. So, standardization. Next is standardization. Kailangan may standard yung trabaho, di ba? So, scientific study is carried on and then right from the recruitment of staff to their placement of work are standardized. Ayan. Siyempre, may standard yan. Number 10, specialization. So, under scientific management, planning and doing in the organization of the plant are separated. Okay? Siyempre, specialization, nakaakibat lang kung saan sila specialize. Di ba? Sa iba't ibang company naman, may kanya-kanyang department. Di ba? So, saan ba yung task nila? Dun lang sila. Kung saan sila magaling, din dun saan specialize nga, di ba? Mental revolution. So, a perfect cooperation between management and the management is a prerequisite for a successful firm. And of course, lastly, management of exception. Okay? It is contemplated that routine matters should be left to the middle and lower management level personnel, and the top management should concentrate on significant deviations from the normal exemption. So, management of exemption. So, exempted. Depende naman yan sa pangyayari, di ba? Okay? So, those are the 12 essential elements of scientific management. Okay, now let's go to your managerial skills. So, ano ba yung mga managerial skills natin? Number 1, or letter A, is the technical skills. So, when we say technical skills, specialized areas of knowledge and expertise and the ability to apply that knowledge to make up a manager's technical skills, di ba? Human relation skills, ayan, yung interpersonal skills managers use to accomplish the goals of a human resources. So, yung it includes ability to kailangang i-understand mo yung behavior, yung human behavior, yung your ability to communicate effectively to others, diba? Your ability to motivate individuals to accomplish their objectives, ayan, that is a human relation skills. Conceptual skills. Ayan, it includes ability to view the organization as a whole. Ayan, understand how the various parts are interdependent. Ayan, assess how the organization relates to its external environment. So, that is a conceptual skills. Ayan, you view the organization as a whole. So, ano ba yung kailangan mong pag-aralan without sa iba't ibang parte ng isang organizations. Okay? So, those are your managerial skills, technical skills, human relation skills, and conceptual skills. Okay, we reached the end of our lesson 1. I hope that you understand the lesson. Ayan. And of course, kung may question kayo, may tanong kayo, ayan, feel free to ask questions. So, do not hesitate. Mag-message kayo sa GC natin, which I created. Okay? Now, let's go to your requirements. So, saan ba yung requirements niyo dito? Okay, your requirements is activity 1, give of, teka lang. Give 5 examples of each managerial skills. Ayan. 15 points. Ayun ba yung mga managerial skills natin under technical skills, under human relation skills, and conceptual skills. And of course, your activity to give a minimum of 2 paragraphs seen in the office using the different type of management styles. Yung traditional management, team management, and the servant management. So, these are your activities for lesson 1. Okay? So, I hope na naintindihan yung lesson. Sabi ko nga kanina. Ayan, magtanong lang kayo sa GC natin. Okay? So, thank you very much for watching and listening to this lecture. Okay? So, bye-bye and of course, God bless us.